What made you wish that your missing child stayed missing? 1 minute, my 4-year-old Judy was digging holes in our yard with her plastic shovel. The next minute, she was gone. We searched for 13 years, hired investigators, led search parties, but we found nothing. Then one morning, a call came from an orphanage 400 miles away about a girl claiming to be our daughter. My hands shook seeing the birthmark behind her ear and the ratty stuffed rabbit she used to carry everywhere. But what broke me was when she looked up with hollow eyes and asked, "They said you sold me. Will you keep me this time?" Judy's return felt like a miracle. We introduced her to Mabel, our 6-year-old, who immediately adored her big sister. But the transition into our home was a little rough. Judy followed us everywhere, even waiting outside the bathroom door. But our therapist said separation anxiety was completely normal. Mabel taught her how to play with toys and braid each other's hair. It warmed my heart hearing them giggling under blankets. We bought Judy everything Mabel already had so she wouldn't feel behind. 2 bikes, 2 dollhouses, matching everything. At Mabel's birthday, Judy cried seeing the presents. I missed 13 birthdays. We immediately rushed out to buy her duplicates. Our neighbors understood completely and brought extra presents too, saying, "This sweet girl deserves double celebrations." I kissed her forehead and agreed, "You can ask for anything you want." I didn't realize how badly we'd been spoiling her until she started demanding fairness. On Christmas morning, Judy unwrapped all Mabel's presents first. "I missed 13 Christmases," she said, hugging Mabel's new doll. That night, she made Mabel sleep on the floor. We found Mabel curled on the carpet, but Judy insisted, "It's only fair since I slept on concrete for years." My husband just carried Mabel back to bed, muttering, "She's working through trauma." But when Judy locked Mabel in our garden shed to learn what loneliness feels like, I panicked. It took 6 hours before we found Mabel barely conscious, drenched in sweat from the 95-degree heat. When I yelled at Judy, she gave a confused expression. I survived years alone going through worse. One day won't hurt her. I felt frustrated but didn't push it further. We cared for Mabel all night, nursing her back to health. When we brought up the incident to our therapist, he insisted on immediate intervention. I wish I had listened because nothing could have prepared us for what happened on the stairs. That morning, Judy pocketed Mabel's asthma inhaler. Later, as Mabel wheezed her way up the stairs, Judy calmly pushed her down. The push looked accidental, but her words weren't. "Now we both have scars." I screamed at Judy while cradling Mabel's bleeding head. "You're hurting her!" Judy tilted her head. "Good. She needs to learn to handle pain." The weekend my husband and I left for a business trip changed everything. Judy promised to take good care of Mabel, even hugged us goodbye with that sweet smile. We returned Sunday evening to a house so quiet I could hear the clock ticking. "They must be sleeping," my husband said, heading upstairs. But something felt wrong, and the house smelled sour, like spoiled milk. I searched room by room until I reached the basement door, which was locked. Through the keyhole, I saw Judy sitting cross-legged on the concrete, calmly turning pages of a book. Behind her was my baby. Mabel was tied to the water pipe, arms stretched above her head, wrists rubbed raw and bleeding where the rope cut in. Her princess pajamas were soaked dark with urine. A dog bowl sat on the floor next to human feces, and chunks of bread floated in brown water. Mabel's lips were split open and bleeding, and her eyes kept rolling back. "Day 3 of 13 years, Judy said, still reading. "She's adjusting beautifully." Then I heard a tiny mommy that was so quiet I almost missed it. I pounded on the door screaming for my husband, begging Judy to stop. He came running and kicked it down. The smell made me gag, a mix of urine, feces, and vomit all together. Judy looked up, startled. "You're early. I thought you abandoned us." We rushed to Mabel. Her skin felt like ice, and brown streaks covered her legs where she'd soiled herself. Her fingernails were ripped off from scratching the concrete, leaving bloody scratches across the floor. Dried vomit stuck her hair to her face. When I reached for the rope, Judy flew at me, her nails catching my cheek. "Don't touch her. She needs to understand how to survive. 3 days is nothing." My husband grabbed her arms and wrestled her down while she kicked and spit. Even pinned to the floor, she kept talking in this calm teacher voice. "I survived years of torment because you left me. I need to prepare her too. So when you sell her, she'll survive." I fumbled with the knots while calling 911, my hands shaking so bad I couldn't hold the phone steady. The police found her journal later with weekend schedules and lesson plans for starvation, isolation, and accidents. As paramedics lifted Mabel onto the stretcher, Judy called out like she was saying goodbye after a play date. "Same time next weekend for lesson 2. Mabel spent 3 weeks in the hospital recovering from severe dehydration, malnutrition, and infected wounds. She needed therapy just to sleep without screaming. We couldn't bring ourselves to press charges against Judy. Instead, we bought a house 5 hours away and gave her the keys. "Your kingdom, as you wanted," my husband said. We still get monthly letters asking for gifts and Mabel's training progress. Last week's letter made my blood freeze. It was Mabel's baby photo with the eyes scratched out. "She's not prepared yet. She needs her big sis."